Hi there. So I've been talking with you about some of the frequently asked questions that I've received, some of the questions I've received about this next circle, Awakening Our Woman line, and really some questions that I've just kind of received in general about my work. And I've talked about what the mother wound is and how it's related to Awakening Our Woman line and truly how it's related to just all my work in general. And I've talked about two of the three basic tenets of all my circles, the ideas of not giving advice and not comparing experiences. And today I want to go through the questionnaire and just kind of touch briefly on each of the questions, um, and to talk a little bit about why I have an application process at all for this circle. So here's the thing. We do really deep work in my circles. And it's important for everyone who's in the circle to be able to be present and to show up and participate. And um, I have found that it could be really easy for me to just put up a little buy now button and take your money and then never, ever, ever hear from you again, right? I send you emails and then I never hear from you. Um, And that's not how I want to work. I really believe in the power of community and relationship. I really believe in the power of group work. I also believe in the power of one-on-one work. It's two different things. Um, I really, I believe in being present. And I don't believe that this work that I guide is something that you can or should, and I'm using the word should intentionally here, go off and do just by yourself in a back corner, right? Um, we all need to be witnessed. We all need to be seen. And part of the process of this work is learning how to witness and see and hear others, right? That's part of what this work is about. And if you're not showing up, if you're not interacting in the Facebook group or interacting with me in one-on-one work that goes along with the circle, or even just sending me emails saying, oh my gosh, I'm stuck, right? If you're not doing any of that, if you're just doing this in isolation, then you're not doing all the work of the circles, and you're not getting your money's worth. Quite frankly, you're not getting all the bang for your buck at all, right? So that's why I have an application process. For my 30-day groups, for my 1 month and shorter groups, there's no application process at all. But for these longer circles where it's intense work. And I want people to be aware that it's intense and that I want you to be committed to this work, that I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want to take your money and run. That's not at all what I'm about. That's not it. That feels gross to me. Um, and it's important for the group that all the individuals in the group be present and be able to be present in whatever ways they can. So I have on my phone that application questions. So that's what I'm doing on my phone right here, just so you know. So the first question, so part of this application process is also to help you reflect on, why do you want to do this work? Like, what is this about? So the first question is, what about this circle is drawing you to it? So it's, what's interesting to you about this? What has piqued your curiosity? What has made you go, God, I think I want to do this. This sounds like really good work. This is what one of my next steps is. I'm ready for this, right? That's all that question is. The second question is, what it should be what is your personal hope and intention for yourself while connecting to the circle? So it kind of reflects a little bit back on what's drawing you to the circle, and it takes that next step to let you really be intentional about this. What are your intentions for this circle? What are your hopes? What do you want to get out of this? Now, when you give me this information, it helps inform me also how, how the curriculum can go. What themes we can really, this group, this particular group really needs to focus on. So you're actually helping form the circle also, and form some of the work that inform me about some of the work that I'm going. Group work is all this work is about you guys. It's not about me.
I have my idea, I have my basic skeleton outline, and what comes out, what grows, the meat and the muscle and the sinew and the skin and the hair and all of that, what grows around that skeleton is all the group work. It's what comes up in discussion in our Facebook group. It's following where you guys need to go and where the group needs to be. So that's what that second question is there for. It's for you to set your intention, for you to be intentional and mindful about this. Yes, this is what I do. And yes, this is what my expectation is. This is what I want to get out of it. This is what I'm paying you this money for, Gwen. Right? It's giving me that information. So then I can make sure either that, okay, this is another aspect that we're going to throw into this work, or I can tell you, this isn't what this circle's about. This isn't going to be the right piece for you. And we can have that conversation, and that's totally okay too, right? The third question is, are you willing to dig into your relationships with your parents, grandparents, siblings, mentors, and people in positions of authority? Right? So that's a big piece of this work, right? It is digging into the patriarchy. It's digging into all the stories that all the people have told us that are living in our heads, living in our bodies, right? Too much, not enough, shame. Like, I don't know how many times I get to reiterate that, but those are the things. Those are the things. And we develop those stories. One part of how those stories come to live within us is our relationships with others, and particularly our relationships with people in authority, and what they've told us and how they've told us we are, quote, allowed to be in this world. So we're going to be digging into that a little bit. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at patriarchal culture. And if you're not willing to look at those relationships, again, this circle is not the right circle for you. And that's okay. That's totally okay. If that's not where you're at, that's not where you're at. And I want to make sure that if you're going to be in this circle, that is where you're at. Let's see here. Question number 4, how will you work with any resistance that may come up during your work in this circle? So resistance is a big thing, right? And I think resistance is awesome. And I get really excited whenever participants in my groups or circles or clients tell me that, I have a lot of resistance to this. It excites me like to no end, because that's where the meat is, right? That's where the stuff is to really start to look at and get into. And we get to explore, okay, is this resistance? Is this like really like something like you're like, I don't wanna. Or is this, you need to rest. You've done some deep work and now it's time for a break. Let's let all this work that you've done settle into you, right? So the question of how do you work with resistance is an important one, not in the specific details of what you do, because that's not honestly very important to me, but that you are willing to acknowledge, this is going to be deep work and there's going to be some resistance to it. There's going to be some stuff I don't want to do and I don't want to look at, and that's okay. And I, as in you, get to decide if you're going to push your boundary in your comfort zone a little bit and dig into it,
or if it's time to just let that piece rest for a little while. And either answer is fine, honestly. And being willing to acknowledge and explore what the resistance is about is an important piece. Okay. So that was question 4. Question 5. Are you able to ask for help or support? So this is another big part of our work together in Circle is and is part of that being witnessed, is part of the not giving advice, is part of the not comparing experiences, is to be able to say, hey, I need someone to just say, I'm doing okay, or to just hear me out and just send me a hug, or, whatever the thing is, right? And sometimes you need to work up to be able to ask for that, and that's totally okay too. Um, and being open to the idea of asking for help and support is important. In my groups, and it's not that everybody's constantly asking for everyone to hold space, and we're all there when you need to. Oh, my family just got home from a trip, so I'm going to try and see what else we got here. 6, do you accept and are you willing to work within the group guidelines of confidentiality and, sorry, closing that door real quick, confidentiality and not giving advice and not comparing experiences. And then 7, do you commit to the following components, which are participating in the Facebook group once a week, daily stream of conscious writing or journaling, and I give you those prompts, and a monthly conference call, assuming that the time and date work for you. And I understand that it won't work for everyone, and that's totally okay. So, so the idea of this question, sorry, I have some weird pop-up that's annoying the crap out of me. So the point of this question is, again, to set that mindful intention that, yes, this is work you want to do, and you're going to be present for it, right? That was question 7. Question 8 is just, do you want to do the basic work, which is fine. I'm calling it the basic work, or the deep, what did I call it? The dive in, which is not the one-on-one work. So you have a choice of either doing the group work on its own, which includes the 3 emails, and you'll get prompts from all of the all my guest contributors, and all the monthly conference, and the monthly group calls, and all of that you'll be getting. And then so there's that package, and then there's also what I was calling the expansion package, or the deeper dive, which includes one-on-one work with me, one-on-one work with Elizabeth Abbott, with Kathleen Madrid, and with um, Michelle Wurst. Sorry, her name was like last name. I don't know why it was slipping my mind, but it was. So 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 you have a choice between either just only doing the group work, which is great and fine and will be robust and intense, and adding on some one-on-one work with that, both during the time of the circle, and then even we've all extended our deadline. You have to do all the one-on-one stuff by a certain point after the group ends. So there's time for you to do the work and process, and that's to do one-on-one time too. So that's just asking, which one do you want to do, and do you need a payment plan or not? And that's fine if you do, and we can work that out. And then the 9th question is, do you have any questions? And because I want to know what your questions are, and I want to answer your questions, and help give you all the information that you need to decide if this is the right group for you or not, if this is the right work for you right now. Again, I could put up just a buy now button and just take your money and be done with it. It would be really easy for me to do that. I don't feel good about that because of the integrity of the circle, um, because the group, I need all the individuals in the group to be present and to be intentional and to be willing to participate in the work, or else the group doesn't work. It doesn't work. If nobody shows up to group, the group doesn't work, right? So that is the questionnaire. Those are the 9 questions. There's no like, if you say you want to do this work, you get to do this work. There's no, I don't turn you away. If you say you are ready, I trust that you are ready. I don't judge and say, oh no, you're not whatever enough. That's not me, and that's not my job, and that's not my role here. What I'm asking is to make sure that this is what you want to do and to help you be really intentional about this and not throw your money away and to be willing to do this work. Okay, it's 16 minutes. I keep doing right about 16 minutes, so that's better than 20, right? All right, sending you love, and I'll connect with one more video with you tomorrow, and um, and then. And then the circle is gathering. It's gathering. So I'd love to have you join us if you haven't already. Sending you lots of love.